Welcome to the Transum Podcast, a monthly roundup of the new features on the transum.org website, providing mathematical puzzles, games, learning activities, and the ever-popular mathematics lesson starter of the day. Here's your host, John Tranter.
And there's a thunderstorm approaching just as I started to record this podcast. So I'm not sure whether you can hear the rain in the background, but you probably hear the thunder as the storm gets closer. But we shall press on regardless. Okay, this is podcast number 70 for the month of September 2020. And during this month, you may know it's Talk Like a Pirate Day. And so with that in mind, I'm going to give the puzzle of the month, which is an old Russian puzzle, a pirate theme. Two shipmates, Scally and Wag, had been up to mischief, hacking the ship's pirateware. Captain Scurvy decided to give them a chance of freedom before making them walk the plank. Scally was put into a small boat tethered to the port side of the ship, and Wag was in a boat to the starboard side of the ship. Over the deck lay 6 ropes, each with one end dangling above Scally's boat and the other end dangling above Wag's boat. So each of these shipmates could just see the ends of 6 ropes dangling above them. And Scurvy ordered the shipmates to tie the ends of the ropes together in pairs. Neither could see what the other was doing, so did not know how the other had paired up the ropes. If, after the tying, the 6 ropes formed one large loop, the shipmates would walk free. So what is the probability of this happening? Okay, you could always rewind the podcast if you want to hear that again. The answer will be at the end. So you've got some thinking time while I ramble on about some of the new additions to the Transum website during the past month. Past month was August. Now, September is traditionally back to school month in the UK, but since I started working in international schools in 1997, I learned very quickly how to write an August date on the board. That was a shock to the system the first time, believe me. Because the whole academic year on the international circuit begins a few weeks earlier than in the UK. But those in the southern hemisphere, of course, will have been back to school for what must seem like a very long time by now. But nevertheless, my best wishes to anybody about to start a new school year. And I hope you find the Transum Back to School resources useful. The link, as to the links to everything else in this podcast, can be found at transum.org/newsletter. Right, here's some new resources. Transformation Tetris. It's sort of a classic computer game with a mathematical connection. And I added it to the website last month. I've managed to get translations and rotations into the game, but I'm still struggling with the programming of reflections. They're still on the to-do list, but it's still lots of fun regardless, so enjoy that.
You can find Transum Mathematics at www.transum.org.
A new resource called Get a Wiggle On has been created as the starter of the day for the 2nd of March. I have at last succumbed to making my version of the mental arithmetic challenge that appears in some newspapers, but my version is dynamic, and you get a choice really to let the pupils work through the rows in their own time, or you can get the blocks to appear one by one on the screen and they have to do the mental calculation, sort of keeping up with the blocks appearing. And as a subscriber, you have access to the controls, which are lower down the page, to vary the speed and the number of rows that will appear. Again, links in the newsletter. Another new resource called Sum Equals Product has been created as the starter of the day for the 12th of August. Keep scrolling down the panels until you find the level of difficulty that will best suit your pupils. Lots of arithmetic will be required to come up with the answers, but more able learners will possibly find all the solutions and be able to explain why there are no more. Okay, some new videos. A colourful video has been made to help pupils do the Venn paint exercise. And last week I uploaded a video called Perpendicular Bisector, which leads into the fascinating world of Voronoi diagrams. And as soon as I finished recording this podcast, I will be putting the finishing touches to a video about bearings. So they'll all be on the site by the time you hear this. So finally, the answer to the puzzle is 8/15. The probability of the pirates forming one large loop with the 6 pieces of rope is 8/15. Now, if you'd like to see the reasoning, I suggest you go and have a look at the newsletter, transom.org/newsletter, as there is a diagram there, and it would be then very difficult for me to explain on a podcast without the use of this diagram, so go and have a look at that. So as this probability, 8/15, is just about greater than a half, they are more likely to walk free than have to walk the plank. Okay, that's all for now. Take care of yourself and, if you can, someone else too. Bye.
Thank you for downloading and listening to the Transom podcast. You can find the website at www.transom.org, where you're welcome to use all of the activities absolutely free, or jump in with both feet and become a Transom subscriber.